3 classes racing here tonight on the short track. We got 3 classes racing again tomorrow night on the short track, and then Friday evening we'll have the TT course with, again, 3 classes racing here at the Jackpine Gypsy short track just outside of well, we're pretty much in town, but just on the other side of the interstate. There's a look at it from high up above. That's actually part of the motocross track as we'll start making an arc towards the left, and you start seeing the pit area to our left side. There's the interstate, and there is the short track on the left side of the screen. I'm Scotty Dubler, the voice of Progressive American Flat Track, and we've got a special guest up here in the booth, and he actually rides for the Estenson Racing Yamaha team, but he's only 14 years old. It's Slammin' Sam Drain. How you doing, Sam?
Good. It's good to see everyone, and it's fun to be out here in Sturgis.
So what happened to Colby Carlisle? You kicked him to the curb and you took his job, or how'd you get up in here in the booth?
I had to ask the big boys and kicked him out.
The big boys at the other end of the truck?
Yep.
Yeah. Did you give him $5, or how'd that work out?
Just
He's
sweet talked him.
Sweet talked him. So to bring it all in perspective, your big brother is the bomber, Tom Drain.
Yeah, he's been a good brother, actually. He helped me learn how to ride my whole life, and it's good to see him doing well in the American Flat Track Series.
But you guys are living also in the States, and you haven't been to Australia. When's the last time you went home to Australia?
The start of this year, but we got a house in Owensboro, Kentucky now, so basically moved here full time.
So you're full-time American? Are you going to start talking like us pretty soon, or what?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. So you are 14 years old, right?
Yep.
How's the Moto America Rookies Cup going?
It's been a good experience to do, actually. Me and Bodie, the 2 Australians in it, having a really good season, actually second in the points, and had a few good podiums and a win, and looking forward to the next few rounds.
Do you like road racing better or flat track?
That's a hard one, but depends really. If you get a really fun flat track, I'd prefer flat track.
So if you get a really good track, you like flat track? If you like to go fast, you like the road race?
Yeah, exactly. So if it's a nice, smooth flat track, I love that. And but road racing's always the same, and it's fun all the time. So it's a hard one. Did you
road race in Australia or just flat track down there?
I did a little bit of road racing in Australia when I was a little kid, but that's it. And we had a break, and we decided to try it once more time, and we're going really good.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but you're still a little kid.
Yeah.
You're 14 years old. Next year you're racing at the AMA Flat Track Grand Championships. So you're going to go for the Horizon Award next year, or is that the year after, or do you have plans that far ahead?
No, that's going to be the main goal, going for the Horizon Award and the 4 championships. This year was really good, ended up with 3, but just wasn't old enough to go for the Horizon Award.
Okay. And Bodie Page, a fellow Australian, won the Nicky Hayden Horizon Award. Yeah,
it's good to see us Australians doing really well in Australia. Me and Bodie are really good friends, so it was good to see him get it.
Have you raced on a racetrack this small before?
Probably smaller at the Coin Indoor. That's about it.
Nothing outside, though, right?
Nope.
So they're telling me that this track right here will fit on the inside of the Daytona short track.
Yeah, it looks pretty small to me, but it's actually looking really good at the moment, and I'm excited to see some racing.
So you weren't here last year when Steve Nace had a race here?
No, this is my first time out in Sturgis.
Well, what do you think?
It's a different part of the country for me, really. It's just real hilly, real grassy, and it's just awesome to be out here.
Have you been downtown?
Not yet.
Why not? They won't let you?
No, just flew in last night.
There it is, right there. Right there, that's Main Street. You can only ride bikes down Main Street. They shut everything off. There's vendors. There's all kinds of food going on. There's all kinds of stuff to see. You got to go down there and check it out.
Yeah, we'll go down there later this week.
Not tonight or tomorrow night. It's race night.
Yeah, race night.
All right. Yeah, drink some beers, get some tattoos tonight after the races?
No, I reckon I'm good for that one.
You reckon you're good? So what kind of tracks do they have down in Australia, and what's the closest track to the Australian tracks up here in America?
There's similar tracks that they drive like sprint cars and stuff on, but they don't generally ride bikes on it. So it's a different experience here in America, but we have similar sized tracks, but they're usually a cushion instead of clay.
So this is a clay racetrack. It's going to groove up. It might be completely different tomorrow night. We had a lot of Mother Nature water the track really good for us the last couple of days, and they've just now finished prepping the racetrack. So do you expect it to groove up, or what would you plan on if you were a rider racing here tonight?
I'd start thinking about it, how it's going to dry out and how it's going to play off through the night, because it kind of looks like a track that's going to slicken off throughout the night, but these first few practice sessions, it should be tacky still.
Okay, and then there's a bunch of different, again, a bonus class here today is the Adventure Tracker class, and you know most of those guys. That's why we brought you into the booth, so you can keep us straight on who's racing those. Yeah,
that's going to be a fun class to watch for. It's just going to be good to see how many boys can handle those big bikes around this small little track.
Have you climbed on top of one?
No, I don't think I'd make it up.
I don't think you could touch the ground, right? You could touch the foot pegs. That's about it.
Yeah.
Those are some big bikes. So it looks like we're getting set to roll onto the racetrack as we speak. Here they come. 16 riders in the Mission AFT Super Twins. They're coming out for 2 rounds of practice. And then we'll get into qualifying here tonight. There goes Briar Bauman on the 3. Dallas Daniels on your team right there on the 32 Yamaha. And what we've been told is this is the shortest track that the Mission Super Twins have ever raced on in the history of our sport.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race, I reckon, this Triple Crown event, and looks like it's really tacky right now as we see Briar going around doing a few laps.
Is it hard to put your foot down when it's this tacky?
Yeah, usually when it's like this, it'll grip your foot up, but that's a big help is still shoes. They still help, but it's still really tacky to put your foot down.
You guys use steel shoes down in Australia?
Yeah.
All right, just making sure. I mean, you guys do things different down there. Do you drive on the right side of the road?
No, opposite to America.
Really?
Yep.
Is the steering wheel on the wrong side too, or?
Yeah, it's on the opposite side.
Really? Why don't you guys turn right down there then instead?
I'm not sure, really.
Okay.
Dallas looks pretty good on this short track right now. Bauman's got the quickest lap, but it's good. The track looks like it's pretty good right now. It looks a little dry, but other than that, it looks pretty good.
2 Harley Davidsons at the top 2 spots. Briar Bauman 13.895. He's on the number 3 bike. We're going to have a lot of new fans out here tonight that are here just for the rally. They found out that the races are here, so we'll try to explain what we got going on over here. The black on the number 3 and the 44 on the speed chart, that's Harley Davidson. The blue's Yamaha. The orange is KTM. And that white one down there, well, that's a Royal Enfield. And red is Honda.
Yeah, it's a big variety throughout these twins class. They got rid of the Indians, so everyone's really spread out on different machines this year.
Do you like it, with all the different brands in? Is it's more interesting?
Yeah, it makes all the fans, like the fans could like Honda more than other things, so it's good to see a lot of different bikes out there.
Looks like they're arcing really wide off of turn number 4, going right up against that concrete front straightaway wall. Would that be a distraction to you as a rider?
No, not really. The track looks like it's kind of a V shape in one end of the corner. That's probably why they're running so wide, because they're just trying to make it straight as possible to get the tyres stood up, so they're going faster down the back straight. Even though it's a pretty small track, but it's still going to help. For you folks just joining us, that is Slammin' Sam Drain over here beside me, the 14-year-old. Well, you run number 59, don't you, just like your brother? 59 in road racing, but in flat track, I'm number 7. Oh, yeah, because it's Sammy Halbert, right? Yep. So watching the 44 on the screen right here, Brandon, he catches his foot on that inside berm right there, so he pulls a little bit of that loose stuff out onto the racetrack. So maybe you got to keep your foot up off the ground or maybe go a little bit wider, huh? Yeah, they're going to be close to that windrow tonight, so it's going to be an important thing to keep your foot up and not get it caught. He's giving us new technology up here, the wind roll on the inside of the track, kind of like an inside berm. Yeah, that's basically what it is, so riders can't cut the course. Right, so you can't jump up over that and make the track shorter. There's Dan Bromley. He's having a pretty good season on that Suzuki. Yeah, he's having a good run on that. He's had a few good races. I actually, last round at Lucas Oil, I thought he was going to get the dash, and yeah, he's been riding really great lately. Yeah, he looks really good. And there's Justin Jones on the first impressions. That's a KTM right there. They do run the Husqvarnas on the singles, but on the twins, that is a KTM. And there's Hammer, and Hank Henry Wiles just went flying by in the 911. Good to see him back out here. Did you watch him growing up a lot, or has he been retired too long? No, we watched him a lot. He was one of the best Peoria TT riders, I reckon. And yeah, he's an impressive rider. At Daytona, he had a good run too. That was impressive to watch.
And actually looked pretty good at Sonoy too the following weekend, and we haven't seen him since then. But he's an aggressive rider, and I think that's what it's going to take on this little short track.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be aggressive. Might even have to move some people out of the road to get to the race lead because of how small this track is.
So you don't want to knock anybody down, but you want to go in there and maybe move them with your elbow a little bit?
Yeah, you just want to try and like run into their rear wheel a bit so it just slides them off the track so you can get the better position and go by.
But good, clean racing.
Yeah, clean racing.
All right, checkered flags out. Still Briar Bauman fastest in this first round of practice. Pretty impressive. Are you surprised at all by anything we've seen so far in practice?
I knew that Briar and B-Rob and Dallas were all going to be out of the front, but James Ott's had a good run this year. I reckon he's going to be one to beat this year too.
All right, so Briar Bauman fastest in that first round of practice, 1:3.895 for the 3 bike. 44 was second quick. That's Robinson. That disappears, and Raymond Rizzo down there waving the yellow flag. It's actually Big P is our real flagman. Our assistant flagman is Raymond Rizzo. He's also our chaplain, and the guy on our right, Big P. It is his birthday today. They said he's around 26 years old. We didn't get the official age, but here comes the AFT Singles presented by Kicker Performance Audio, and there's your brother right there, the bomber, Tom Drain.
Yeah, he's also having a pretty good run this year, and he said he's looking forward to this track because there's not many this short, and at our house we've been training pretty hard on real small tracks, so I think it should be a good night for him.
Here comes Chase Sadoff right behind him. These two are kind of going at it back and forth. A little bit of rough riding going on. I think there's been a few warnings here and there, but good stiff competition.
Yeah, these two
man, he got loose.
These two have been battling since they were amateurs, so it's good to see them still battling hard, and they're racing each other fair, but they do make a little contact sometimes. But
Chase just bounced off that back straightaway wall right there.
Yeah, the track looks like it has a few bumps, but it's not too bad. It's just got to get a good run and get it stood up and turned before the exit of that turn, otherwise you will be ended up hitting that wall.
How's your brother doing so far? What do you think?
Yeah, he looks pretty good. Chase is keeping him honest though. Same with Trevor. He's looking really good too. Last round, Trevor was riding really well, and it was a good battle last round. Trevor got him on the last lap, so that was awesome.
Well, Trevor and Chase Sadoff, the 21, the 88, had one heck of a battle going until that last corner. Trevor went around both of them to take the win.
Yeah, it's hard as a rider when you're leading with such a big gap because when you're behind, you can kind of judge and start to work forward, but when you're leading, you just want to try and do the same thing. But yeah, it's a hard thing to do leading, but Trevor was on rails. Was your brother watching the big screen on the end of the back straightaway? Yeah, he said he was, but he didn't really want to try anything else because if he slipped high, they were going to be there instantly. But he saw him catching up, and he's just trying to be aggressive with it. But
so it looks like your brother's kind of letting off, and Sadoff, it looked like both wheels came off the ground. He's almost gets into the backside of your brother, but these guys are going at it. And Rubber going down on the racetrack over here on the coming off of turn number 4. Yeah, Chase has got hard into that wall twice. It's a very tight track, but yeah, it should be a good night. Well, it's time to check in with Kristen B. Kristen's down in the pit area. What's going on down there, Kristen?
Crew chief for Brandon Robinson. What are the adjustments surrounding at this point at this track?
I didn't hear you, Kristen.
What are the adjustments surrounding at this point on this track?
It's just so small, you know. You got to turn all the time. I think it's just going to be staying on your toes and staying on top of the racetrack. It's going to be changing every time we're out there.
What kind of bike will B-Rob need?
What kind of bike will what?
What kind of bike will B-Rob need out there?
Oh, a bike that will go 25 laps for one.
Thanks so much.
Group number 2, AFT Singles presented by Kicker, is on the racetrack. They got a Kicker tent set up there. You been up there to check it out yet? Yeah, I've been up there once or twice looking at their stuff. They're pretty cool product. My brother's won a few of their speakers, and I like keeping them because they're great. They're a great speaker. Do you use the earphones, or do you use the speakers? What do you got from them? I like using the big speaker. I don't like earbuds. All right, there's Kelleher on the 31 right here. Here comes Walker Porter, the Alabama Slammer, shoving a wheel up the inside. That's a good aggressive move right there. Yeah, Walker said to me early in the day he likes these short tracks. He's really good at Springfield, but he said any short track, he loves them. Walker from Alabama as we slide back through the field. There's Dalton Gauthier. Welcome back, Dalton. Got hurt early in the season at Sonoy and Don't know when we're going to see him again. He shows up here and there, and he's told us he's going to plan on running the rest of the races this year.
Yeah, he's an impressive rider to watch. I've seen him when I was growing up, just turning the front under. That's what he's really impressive about. There's another Australian out here from Australia. He's the AFTN champion, Thomas Herrick. He's in 13th, and he's having a good run.
He had the Australian Championship last year in 2024, right?
Yeah, he was the AFTN 2024 champion in Australia.
And that's number 314. Herrick is his last name?
Yeah.
Okay, he's on the track right now. He didn't have any points, so he goes out in that second group.
Yeah, he's a very talented rider. Him and Tom have been battling a fair bit.
All right, let's check in again with Kristen B. Kristen's down there with some adventure tracker bikes. They're coming up real soon.
They're coming up right now, and Dalton Gauthier, who is literally pulling off track on his single bike, is about to make the bike swap. He's literally leaning the bike against the porta potty right here. I'm standing by his single bike. He's popping onto his adventure tracker. This is going to be a marathon for Dalton Gauthier for the next 3 days. We will see the adventure trackers not only today, tomorrow, but also on Friday as we race the TT. I spoke with Dalton about this long weekend ahead of him. He seems ready. He said that these short tracks are physically demanding, but he's been working out, he's been focusing back on his program, and he is ready to take on the challenge of entering 2 classes this weekend.
He's breathing a little bit hard right now. Kristen will have a second to catch his breath. They'll send him out. Adventure trackers are basically a dual sport motorcycle that you can ride in the woods and ride onto the track and ride to the track. Have you ever heard of that before?
Not really. It's a cool class to see. We got a few good riders in here, like Jesse and Henry and Hunter Bauer. Just everyone. They've all been in AFT before, I'm pretty sure, and it's going to be a good one to watch.
With 33, Jesse Janish, a former AFT Production Twins champion, Dalton Gauthier on that 79 bike. That's a Triumph. They just picked that up yesterday. Had very little time to make any adjustments. Also, these bikes have to weigh at least 500 pounds. A few of the bikes were a little bit light. They were trying to add some weight to those motorcycles. Would you go sit on that bike, or could you help them out a little bit?
It would definitely hurt if it fell over on you.
Yeah, for sure. There's Morgan Mishler just pulling up on the 13 bike. Dalton's on a Triumph. Jesse Janish on the 33 Harley Davidson, trying to see. Oh, Danny Eslick is out there on that Saddleman Harley Davidson. It's good to see Slick back out here at the flat track. The shields are going down. 911 is Henry Wiles. 62 is Dan Bromley. A 188. It's got some Memphis Shades colors on. There's Mishler on the 13 bike. Again, they're going to be with us all 3 rounds out here at Sturgis, and then we'll see them at Peoria at the TT. Can you imagine jumping on one of those things?
Yeah, that's going to be a really fun one to watch. They're going to be a handful here tonight because of how much they weigh and how much power they got.
Try to put that power to the ground. Dalton Gauthier on that 79 bike. Also out there, Austin Luzak is the 188. Brandon Posh is on the 196. Henry Wiles the 911. I think we covered everybody else out there. Hunter Bauer on that 24. You mentioned him, but he's on the 24 bike. Real quick look at Dalton on a replay. This is the first lap, getting it really sideways. The back end trying to step out and tiptoeing right through that little turn number 4 area.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're running stock suspension in these things, so it's going to be tough. You're going to have to be smooth with it.
Would you try to stiffen it up or slow it down? What do you think?
I might try to make it a little stiffer and slow it down just so it wasn't moving around so much.
All right, there's Eslick on that 64. It's good to see him. It's actually 164, I believe, this year. Good to see him. He's a 4-time Daytona 200 winner. How about that, man? That's cool.
Yeah, that's very impressive. That's a hard race to win. It just looks like they're going to the high line to miss some of these bumps out there. But
look at the roost coming off the back tire right there. Slick's getting on it.
Yeah, these tires have very deep tread in it, and so much power, so I bet it's going to throw some roost.
I don't think I'd want to be behind one, that's for sure.
No, definitely not.
This is our Venture Tracker class. There's a look at Morgan Mishler on that 13 bike.
Looks Bromley's going to the top with a 15.7.
That's pretty quick.
Dalton's just got him with a 15.6.
See, you gave me the announcer jinx right there. Yeah. That's what you just did.
They're starting to pick up the pace there. I think they're getting used to these bikes.
Do you racers believe in the announcer curse or the announcer jinx?
Yes.
You do, don't you? That's what I thought.
Happens every time.
Every time. Checkered flag is out. Dalton Gauthier goes to the top spot on that next to last lap. The 79 bike quickest out here. 15.666. There's the 62, Dan Bromley. He'll be running the Mission Super Twins class. All these guys are going back and forth and and different classes. So I already got a message. Somebody wants to know about your you can't look at it. Your private flight out here to Sturgis. Did you get an airplane ride?
Yeah, that was a good one actually. We ended up just getting off the bike in Talent Cup and then went straight onto my team owner Tim Estenson's private jet. I'm very lucky just to be this young and getting this opportunity, so it's great to be on that team. I like to thank that team very much. They've made me and Tom's life very different, making us live here in America, so that's very cool.
Absolutely. Let's check in one more time with Kristen B. Kristen, where are you at now?
The 2022 Production Twins champion Jesse Janish here on an adventure tracker, Harley-Davidson, with probably the coolest color scheme we'll see all weekend. Jesse, what do you make of these bikes with your first time being out on a dirt track?
Oh, that was wild. That was a lot of fun. I've had a really great week out here in Sturgis. Harley-Davidson hooked me up with a Pan Am. Been riding in the hills, so I probably got more miles than everybody else. Honestly, the track was a blast. That was a lot of fun. Danny Eslick was flying, so I was just trying to slowly pick it up on him and try to catch him a little bit because he was sending it.
Are you confident enough to open it up on this bike?
Oh, yeah, we were wide open. Yeah, Danny was roosting me like the whole back straightaway. So, honestly, it was a blast out there. There's some ruts off it, too, and he was railing right through them, and it took me a little bit to want to get that sendy.
Well, we will see you later on this afternoon as qualifying continues. Jesse, thank you so much.
That was our first round of practice in the books out here at the Jackpine Gypsies short track. It is a Mission Triple Challenge racing here tonight. There's Mount Rushmore. There's so many things to see. If you have a motorcycle, you have to ride out here to the Black Hills and go check out all the sights and scenery. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's just about time to get into a little bit more practice, and then we start getting into qualifying. Opening ceremonies here tonight, 8 p.m. We are Mountain Time if you're watching on Flow. We'll be back to Sturgis, South Dakota in just a moment.
Today's coverage is powered by Kicker Audio, bringing the sound to the people with 20 Marine Audio Tower speakers on site. From marine to power sports, car, and motorcycle, Kicker has you covered. Kicker, living loud.
Name's Food.
We're going full throttle with Mission Foods. There's no holding back American flat track when you combine the fiercest dirt track riders and tastiest products. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Jostens is proud to be the official trophy of American Flat Track. Jostens also produces great commemorative race products for race fans. Please visit us at jostens.com to see all of our commemorative racing products. Racing is all about performance, speed, precision, and pushing the limits. Aeroflex brings that same mindset to liquid packaging with a design that's lighter, tougher, and better for the planet. Simply tear the tab, squeeze, and experience a better way to package liquids. Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Check us out on the web at backontrack.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life. By renting tools, equipment, and attachments you need to get the job done, and buying the machines you use every day, your local cat dealer and cat rental store can help you win wherever you're doing the work. Visit catrentalstore.com today.
More than 50 years, Kicker has been rocking the planet on anything that moves. Kicker, the legacy continues.
Welcome back to the Jackpine Gypsies short track, night number 1 of 3 out here at this little short track just off of the interstate. Tonight is the Mission Triple Challenge. That means each of the 2 premier classes will race 3 main events. Little Sam Drain had to go back outside and tell Tom how to go a little bit faster, so he went back outside. And joining me now in the booth is your 2017 AFT Singles Champ, Colby Carlisle. Colby, where were we at when Drain took over? They thought you were recouping from last weekend.
No, I wasn't recouping. I was looking for you in the pits because yesterday we did about 110 miles, and Scotty was so fast on his street bike that I thought he might be lining up for the adventure trackers. Not the case, but
I thought about it.
That's what I was looking for. I couldn't find you.
And then that Mother Nature got involved, and we had to go park back at the cabin. And then we went golfing.
Yeah, Scotty had to ask me if I know how to ride in the rain, and honestly, I said no. I don't.
Right,
I have no
exactly.
idea.
I didn't know if you ever rode a street bike, and you had that beautiful Yamaha that you actually got when you won the championship.
Yeah, yep. I put some miles on it finally yesterday. Did 100 miles yesterday. It's got 1,700 now total.
Oh, we had a good day. We got some more riding planned. Maybe tomorrow morning we'll ride to breakfast for sure. What
else did we do yesterday?
We
going to talk about that yet?
We went golfing.
Yeah.
I got schooled. Well, I was using your little bitty short clubs.
Yeah, it's something. It's excuses.
And some pink balls that Brad gave me.
You'd have thought we were at the PGA Tour, though, because it was so hard, that course.
That course was tough, but it was a lot of fun. That was Boulder Canyon.
Boulder Canyon. I almost got an eagle.
Oh, you should have had an albatross. You got on a par 4. You got on in 1.
About 10 feet from the pin.
And then 2-putted it.
I felt good.
You still got a birdie.
Yeah, it felt good.
That would have been your first eagle. I'm just throwing that out there, but, you missed.
Yeah, it was towards the end of the round, and you didn't feed me lunch yesterday. I'm staying with Scotty this week and his family in this beautiful cabin here in Rapid City, which, if you haven't been here, it's unreal. But, yeah, Scotty didn't feed me lunch yesterday, so it was a strategy.
That was part of my strategy. Yeah. I wanted to beat you because I got some extra food laying around my body somewhere, so I was no, we didn't stop. We were busy.
We were busy. It's been a great time. Unfortunately, I have to do a real job a little bit sometimes during the day, so we couldn't ride today, but maybe Wednesday or Thursday we'll get back out there and finish the ride that we wanted to do.
Well, there's always a lot going on. Working on the track just a little bit to looks like they're working on turn 1 and 2 right now, kind of roughing it up a little bit. They call that a Harley rake that turns up the bottom of the racetrack. It was very wet when we got here. It's dried out. They've actually applied more water, but they're trying to smooth it out right now while we have a chance.
Yeah, they're working on it. But when are we going to go to the place where your buddy's got all the cool stuff?
Well,
what do we got there?
We saw him this morning and yesterday, so yeah, we'll give you a real quick tour if you don't get to make it over there. So my buddy Denny Cannonberg, this is one of his man caves, so this is really cool, man. There's so much really neat stuff here, and that's Denny Cannonberg right there. Used to be number 20J, and this is just some of his collection. He's moved some stuff around, Brad, so if you get to get some free time, we'll go check it out again. But, he's got some really neat racing stuff. He's just collected all kinds of really different things. And look at all those number plates up top, different letters, different colors, from back in the day. There's the Snake River Canyon, Evel Knievel jump, and some of his prized possessions right here.
Yeah, look at
that, yeah. That's older than you.
Older than you? Maybe, I don't know.
And Brad and all
Is that
this
my
combined.
old joke for the week?
Yeah, that's it. Look at that little bitty bike right there, the little Moto Villa. Moto Italia. There's a little ceramic flat tracker. And there's Sport Wheels. That's the company he had. And now his daughter runs, actually, in Minnesota, the world's largest salvage yard. Look at that old sign. Santa Fe Speedway raced every Wednesday night right there in Chicago, just a little suburb in Chicago. A lot of people cut their teeth there. These old trophies. There he is. There's 20J. Denny Cannonberg. And there's Denny out in front, one of his pictures of him leading the 20J bike. Really cool stuff. There's Bart Markel. Eddie Lawson on the right up there on that. There's the old factory Honda team right there. Doug Chandler, Randy Goss. A Freddie Spencer Super Camp deal. And Denny knows the story on every one of those bikes in there and everything that's hanging on there. And there's the bike I was telling you about before. So the rear end came apart. He told us about that story.
That was that Peoria TT, right?
Yes. Yep.
That's why when I said where I lived, he had a little bit of a smile.
Yeah.
He could tell there's a story.
There's my
along
hero,
with that.
right? Bubba Schobert right there. Look at that, crossed up on the old RS 750, or yeah, R750. This is the first time he came, and he actually had a motorcycle show in the old Armory on Main Street, and then he started selling things, and he was one of the first people to actually sell Sturgis T-shirts. A couple of old steel shoes right there. Look at all those shoes. Would you wear one of those? You probably couldn't lift your leg up.
Preferably not, no. No, I definitely couldn't with all my my injuries,
hardware
my
you got
helmets,
in
yeah.
there. So your mom just texted me and asked me where you're at in that first round of practice. Did you tell her you're okay?
Yeah, I was looking for you. I thought you were racing. You guys wouldn't believe it, dude. His bags must be worn through on the sides. He was so leaned over.
We had fun, and we haven't even made it up to Iron Mountain Road yet. So we'll be leaning over a little bit further. So it is a beautiful, warm day out here today in Sturgis, South Dakota, just a little ways from Rapid City. If you've never been out here, you need to check it out. It's the 85th Rally and Races. People are on TV.
Yeah, it was good, too, because I got to watch that first round of practice from outside of the truck, which typically we never get to do. We're inside the truck. So I got to see who I wanted to see the entire time. And the track's definitely going to be the challenge tonight. These guys are going to be racing each other, but they're going to have another obstacle, and that is the racetrack. You're going to have to keep such a close eye on it. You see all those guys along the fences right now eyeing up what they're doing. They're trying to Harley rake it and get it as smooth as possible, but, man, it's tough. It's very tough.
And it will be tough because they're running 3 main events. There's not a heat race. There's not a last chance qualifier. Well, there's one last chance qualifier for the singles class, but typically we have a heat race, a last chance qualifier, a challenge race, and a main event. So this time we'll have the best of the best lineup 3 times for 3 different main events.
Yeah, and that's going to be another challenge involved. It's just you're going to have to keep such a close eye on it. Like at Lima, when we did the first triple challenge, you know what the track's pretty much going to do. Some bumps will get a little bit deeper as the night goes on, but they're always prepping it as much as they can. Where here, it's clay. It's just soft right now. There was just a lot of water and a lot of rain, and it's soft coming out of these corners. They're doing everything they can, but like you'll see a truck go down the straightaway, and it'll just move a little bit. And that's something you have to deal with clay sometimes.
No more saying the R word, okay? That's done. Yep. We got into some of it yesterday.
We did.
Yep, and where are we at? Keystone?
Keystone.
Yep.
We outran it.
Yeah, we did. We put on our gear. There's your buddy. There you go. We talked to him earlier today.
We did, yeah.
Yep.
You guys had me stressed out driving back because you guys were going above the speed limit. I don't do that.
A little bit.
Just a couple.
We want to beat that shower we're trying to get. Yeah, have a drink of that beer. Kicker's got a booth up top. Go see Mad Dog. The speakers we're using on that front straightaway and back here on the back straightaway are actually Kicker speakers that they brought in extra, so you folks can hear a little bit better. There's a shot of Main Street. It is filling up out here. It's the 85th annual motorcycle rally and races, and usually the years that end with a 5 or a 0 get fuller and fuller and fuller. There's the Kicker speakers we have bolted up on the poles all the way around the racetrack to hopefully help everybody out here at this Sturgis short track, the Jackpine Gypsy Sturgis short track. There you go.
Yeah, eventually I need to wander down to Main Street or
you haven't been there, have you? No. We kind of drove around it because we wanted to ride yesterday.
Yeah, we were riding.
We were trying to go to Iron Mountain Road. We might try that Wednesday or Thursday if you don't have to work too long.
We were doing what you're supposed to do at Sturgis. Other than racing,
we're
riding.
That's right. The riding here is awesome. So many different places and
got Fast Eddie out there too.
Yeah,
I thought we lost him for a while, but you guys didn't tell me. He just disappeared.
So he pulled up beside me and said he's headed back because he's grown up out here. We're from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the other side of the state, but riding out here all the time. He was watching the weather and he saw that dark cloud and he said, "I'm going back." So,
he smelled the air coming in.
So he turned around and so left us with 3, and Brad Benson led us for a little while, my twin brother, and we had a nice little shortcut ride right before we got to Hill City, and we kind of picked up the pace a little bit, and Brad caught some air on his street glide special.
It's tough It's tough in those curves when you get stuck behind a bunch of other riders because we just want to burn it off.
It's frustrating, yeah. There's the motocross track. So back in the day when I was younger, they actually had a TT course right here when my grandpa was racing and did really well. And this right here is the motocross from yesterday, so you can see it was dry yesterday during the day. There's a few muddy spots they had to work on, but, yeah, they were racing motocross out here yesterday. Earlier today, they ran the hill climb. I went over there. We actually saw a couple of guys go all the way over at the hill climb.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. There's no way I could do that.
Why not?
I'm terrible at climbing hills. Even back home when I'm trail riding, most of the time I'll get like 3/4 of the way up and then just dump the clutch and throw the bike as far forward as I can.
Try to make it over?
Yeah.
All right, remind me not to ever let you ride my dirt bike.
No, never.
Okay. And then here comes on the other side of the hill. Here is the hill climb. They ran the hill climb earlier today. It's usually a Monday afternoon. Yeah, it is kind of scary. It has a few different levels. And there goes a bike going up the hill right there on the right in the middle of the screen. Oh, no, that's not the course, actually. But
I think that one I could do because there's one to the left and one to the right. Yeah.
You get a big run at this one. There's like a jump and a jump. But it's kind of hard to see, but you start down there in the hole, and then you got a couple different levels.
Yeah, it's the right one because you have to go up that wall. There's like 2 walls there. There's no way I could do that because you come to a dead stop almost.
Yeah, they stretch out those swing arms really long to help them get them going, get them up over those hills. Actually did a hill climb last weekend in Billings, Montana, and some of the folks that were there were here earlier today, and they wrapped up before we got going.
We saw a man over there with 4 birds on his bike too. 2 on his shoulders, a couple on the handlebar. Yeah,
birds.
Real birds.
Real birds. Parrots. Yeah, we
see a lot.
We also saw a lot of stuff when we went to breakfast this morning at the church, man.
You see a lot of stuff out here. Neat stuff. Always a couple bikes on, or excuse me, dogs on gas tanks and
things you never see anywhere else.
Cool motorcycles, cool cars. Yep. It is unreal. I mean, if you've been to Daytona Bike Week, that's very fun. But this is just another level of motorcycles, and you have to plan out which way you're going because there's so much traffic from motorcycles here.
There you go. There's some riders from the Christian Motorcyclists Association. I'm sure they're helping out with the corner workers down there. We appreciate what they do. Yeah, on the right side, see where they back up to that board right there, there's like 3 ruts. And then you go up, and there's like a big step right there, and it flattens out. And then that second little area where that grass is, I wish I had a way to write on the screen right here. But, yeah, that first one, you try to jump up. Some guys were trying to jump up to that second step, and then it gets rougher and rougher and harder and harder. And when you get to the very top, man, you're going pretty much almost straight up and down at the very top.
If you would have had me try that earlier, you would have had to keep Sam Drain in here the whole night.
Well, that's why we're trying him out. We're going to send you up there tomorrow. He was auditioning tonight, so we're going to let you race. You said you're going to race on Friday.
I hope you got a blank check with a lot of zeros in it for that one.
A lot of zeros?
I'm saying 5. 6. We'll do it for 6.
6 zeros?
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll hill climb?
For sure.
On what kind of bike?
With the 1 in front of it, not just zeros.
Oh, okay.
You could have got me there.
I got a check. I can write a bunch of zeros.
You could have got a lawyer on me there.
Just a 1 in the front? Put a 2 or 3.
A 1 with 6 zeros were in there, but yeah.
All right.
No, hats off to those guys. What a talent and skill and just having the ability to do it and the confidence.
Yeah, for sure. It's because if you don't make it all the way over, you got to turn around, come back down. That's the hardest part. They try to cut off the edge and go down the little bit easier way where those little kids were just riding up and down. But man, the hill climbs out here on every Monday of every Sturgis Bike Week.
I got some buddies at home that I've gone hill climbing with, Cody and Chase, and they've seen me at work, and it's not good. It's not pretty at all.
All right, I'll take your word for it. I'm pretty sure my dad's hill climbed there. I know my Uncle Joe did, and I know my dad raced that hill climb over there.
Hey, how about free practice 1, fast times in both sessions were our winners from Lucas Oil with Bruner and Breyer Bauman.
Are they riding the momentum train? Is there such a thing as a rider?
Oh, yeah, for sure. There is. I think in this first one, Breyer's got a clean lap in at the beginning, but...
All right, well, track prep is continuing out here. We'll take another quick break, get it out of the way. There goes the Buffalo. We'll be back to the Jackpine Gypsy Short Track soon.
Feel the race everywhere you stand, thanks to Kicker Audio, bringing the sound to the people with 20 Marine Audio Tower speakers around the venue. Kicker, living loud.
Before the celebration, before the victory lap, before every turn, every jump, and close call, machines and equipment from the Cat Rental Store build the track where the action unfolds. And because your race day means so much to us, we want you to be the first to know what's next. More locations, fresh look, expanded fleet, better coverage. Get ready for the Cat Rental Store's new start.
Win every race with VP Racing. Designed specifically for moto and power sports applications, VP's wide line of race fuels, lubricants, coolants, and additives give you the power and performance you need to win every lap and every race. Check out their championship-winning products today at vpracingfuels.com.
Tom Duma Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our 10th year to Progressive American Flat Track, providing championship rings for each class in 2023. Tom Duma Fine Jewelers wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches, in all price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TDFJ.com.
Freedom on the road starts with the right coverage. That's why so many riders depend on Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Visit Progressive.com to customize your policy and get great coverage, low rates, and a quote in just 3 minutes. Royal Enfield, the oldest motorcycle manufacturer in continuous production, is proud to introduce the 2025 Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield Super Twins race team, which now features champion Johnny Lewis serving as coach to new lead rider Max Whale this year. In addition, Royal Enfield once again features a new lineup of build, train, race, all-female flat-track racers that compete on the AFT Pro Circuit this year. Royal Enfield's full lineup of retro-styled motorcycles are easy to ride at very accessible price points, all honoring 124 years of motorcycle history dating back to 1901. Check out RoyalEnfield.com to find your nearest dealer and test ride the newest models, including the Himalayan 450 and Bear 650, which are turning heads in North America. By renting tools, equipment, and attachments you need to get the job done, and buying the machines you use every day, your local cat dealer and cat rental store can help you win wherever you're doing the work. Visit catrentalstore.com today.
to Jackpine Gypsies short track night number 1 of 3. Just to keep you updated, there's a little bit of an overwatered area going into turn 3 right now, so they're trying to pack that in, kind of wheel packing it in, trying to smooth it out. Here is the trivia question. This is Mount Rushmore right here. Coming through, do you pay to get in right here? The 4 presidents up there in the rock formation. Here's the trivia question. What was the sculptor who carved the famous South Dakota landmark Mount Rushmore, completed in 1941? Colby? Who sculpted it?
I don't. That one's tough. I was wondering if we are going to ask who's on it.
All right.
Do you have any? No, no idea.
You don't know?
Do you? There's no way you know unless they told you. If you know it, you cheated.
They haven't told me, but I should know this one because I'm from South Dakota. I can see it written down. Let me see. I'm struggling. There it is. Gutzon Borglum. That's what it was. Borglum. He was national number 8J from South Dakota. I'm just kidding. He wasn't a racer. There's beautiful downtown Sturgis, South Dakota.
Who's on the Mount Rushmore?
I know for sure Washington is on there.
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln.
No.
And 2 others.
Yep.
That's all I got.
George Washington.
I said that.
Abraham Lincoln.
I said that too. I'm 50%.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Jefferson.
Theodore Roosevelt. Thomas Jefferson.
Jefferson. All right, so I had 3.
Who's on the $20 bill?
I don't know. I don't have anything smaller than 100.
It's getting transferred to my account tomorrow after the hill climb.
Uh-huh. Jackson. Back on track in about 6 minutes. What we're hearing from competition right now, trying to get the best track we can for you race fans that are live here with us, and also for you folks tuned in on FloRacing.
Look at that, the new pavement section. Getting ready for later on this week.
That's Friday, the Super TT. Also, we have a little bit different format here tonight than we're doing tomorrow night. So if you come back tomorrow night, it'll be a completely different show here. We'll have 3 main events in both of our AFT singles and Mission Super Twins class. 3 main events means qualifying, which is going to happen here real soon, is very, very important.
Yeah, very important, and it gets you into the show automatically. Like in the singles class, if you're not in that top 12 group of riders, you're going to the LCQ.
Yeah, and you don't want to go to the LCQ because we're only going to take the top 4 out of there into that singles main event number 1.
On a short track that is this small, this physical, and this technical.
Yeah, you got to start as far forward as you can. I think we're going to have some lap traffic a little bit later on tonight. And also we have the Adventure Tracker class that has only ran with us once. That was last year at the Sturgis TT, which was downtown. We got the Super TT out here at the short track, and they'll be racing on some asphalt. And there's the BMW. That's the one Morgan Miffler is riding. They picked that up yesterday.
I rode one of those around the pits.
You rode that one, right?
No, I rode the BMW.
All right. I thought you rode the
bike. I hopped on Hunter Bauer's.
There's the Transalp bike.
Yeah, I hopped on Bauer's. And there's BMW, and they got some zing to them. They go.
Jesse Janish's Harley Davidson got a little bit different skin on it. And what's this? The Triumph. I think that's the Triumph 196. That's Brian and Posh. And
then Dalton Gautier rode one too, and it's the bike is so quiet. There's so many different sounds out of these. The Vance and Hines Harley Davidson sounded so good out there, and then I referenced Luzak's bike, kind of sounded like a pod racer from Star Wars, but
wow,
these bikes all have such different sounds. You can change the silencer, you can't change the header pipes though.
A lot of them actually can ride on the streets. Like they can leave here, like back in the day when they came to race, you would ride your bike to the track, take the headlight off, put number plates on it and race, you know, and I think you could do that with those Adventure Tracker bikes.
Was it you telling me or your dad telling me how they had a buddy that came here and they had to make sure they didn't crash because him and his wife had to ride home that night?
Exactly. That was my dad. My dad's got a lot of stories from up here in Sturgis. And
he's got a lot of stories.
I think I've been here. My dad thinks I've been here like 43 or 44 times to the Sturgis Rally.
You're that old.
I am old. But, yep, I think I don't know. I never did keep track. I wish I would have kept track, but I'd probably go through a T-shirt collection, at least get most of them.
Yeah, you don't think about doing that stuff in the moment, and then nowadays you look back, and man, some of those T-shirts are probably pretty valuable now.
Yeah,
people love
vintage. One of my favorite ones. I found a racing one here from 1990, and it has Davey Durrell on there, number 58, and he was one of my heroes. I liked watching him. He's from Minnesota. When he'd come out here, he always did really good on the half mile, which is on the other side of the interstate, and that's actually where the racing really started, was on the half mile, and then they built this short track a little bit later on. And that's actually J.C. Pappy Hoyle had his little parking spot down here outside turn number 4. And then when he left us, Pearl Hoyle would always park her car right there, and she never missed one single race. She was always parked right up against the fence down here in turn number 4 at the short track. Actually stayed at their house a few different times. I think we stayed in the basement. I know we camped out back and just used the showers that were downstairs a couple times. But I got a lot of memories out here at the Sturgis, motorcycle rally and races. It's really cool.
And this is where it all started, right? Right here with the racing in Sturgis.
Correct. The racing brought the fans and then the riders. And then when you come out here one time and you ride like we did yesterday, Colby, you fall in love with the place.
It's unbelievable.
And we only went on one decent ride yesterday. There's so many different places to go on your motorcycle, and it doesn't matter what kind of bike you have. You were on a Yamaha, I was on a Harley, my dad was on a Honda. It doesn't matter. Everybody comes here for the same reason, to ride and enjoy the rally.
Yeah, it's just, seriously, I can't understate how beautiful the riding in the environment we were going through yesterday was.
Yeah, I also want to point out our friends with Orion Helmet, the official helmet of Progressive American Flat Track. They have a booth down there on Lozelle. Come down there and try a brand new Orion helmet. You can take it on a ride and see if you like that particular helmet, and then you can buy one. So our friends with Orion have that. And here comes practice round number 2. Looks like they're going to come out and get a little practice start right here. This is your Mission Super Twins for you new fans. They are twin-cylinder motorcycles, and they'll be rolling onto the racetrack right now. And this is group number 1, which will be 8 of the riders. Get a little practice start, and then our second round of practice here today. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not qualifying yet, but you want to get out front because this track gets a little bit rougher and rougher each lap that goes by. You'll see the best lap times coming right now out of these first couple of laps.
This is the shortest short track a Super Twin in Progressive American Flat Track has ever been on.
Yeah, it's very, very small, about 1/6 of a mile. I was trying to measure it out. We were comparing this to potentially Laconia, but this is even smaller than Laconia, which we raced last time in 2022.
And some people were saying, how does it compare to the Daytona Short Track? You can fit this track inside the Daytona Short Track, if that puts it in perspective. And I'm not saying these riders have never been on a track this short, just not on the circuit at a national on a twin.
Yeah, Briar Bauman goes up to the top of the board right now.
He has some bright orange on his boots, or bright red. Really standing out. I don't think I've seen him in those before.
It's really loose there.
That's where the little bit extra moisture was, possibly. Going into 3, right?
Yeah, right there's the center of 3 and 4. I'm just trying to watch right now. Briar's putting in a lot of laps here, which, in the last session he kind of pulled off about, well, he didn't pull off, but he started going slow about halfway through the thing and then ended up actually pulling off.
And you don't have any idea how fast you're going, time-wise, when you're out there.
Yeah, and it's so small. Like, he starts pull off now, and this is just free practice, so the lap times all don't matter. But, yeah, you have no idea. I mean, there's no time to really think out here because it's so, you're immediately leaning back over down the straightaway.
When we had our production call, you and I both mentioned that rider right there, the 67 Davis Fisher. He won here last year at the Steve Nace AMA All-Star National Flat Track Series race on a 450. He could possibly win here tonight.
Yeah, and then just sitting outside the truck, I think in FP1, I really enjoyed watching the 44 Robinson. He looked pretty smooth. His lap time wasn't compared to what Briar Bauman had, but he looked so smooth, and I think that's what's going to be the key tonight. I don't think it's going to be the fastest racers. We get a replay here of Davis Fisher coming off of turn 2.
Okay, his left foot came off the foot peg, and the roost was flying off the back tire, and he never let off the throttle.
Let's see as he's coming into 3 now.
So
it gets loose right there, and maybe some marbles coming in there.
Really lays it over, and then he slips a little bit wide, and high, wide, and handsome. Sometimes it's a fast way. If you get that thing turned and pointed the opposite direction, it works. Group number 2 rolls onto the racetrack. You got Dan Bromley on the Suzuki, 14 Logan McGrain on a KTM, 70 Declan Bender on a Yamaha, 91 Justin Jones on the KTM, 911 Henry Wiles on the Yamaha, the 11 Daniel Poole on a Kawasaki, the Missile Michael Hill on the 47 Yamaha on the 50, Jimmy McAllister, J-Mac on a Yamaha. This is group number 2, Mission Super Twins. Here they go, get a good start. Henry Wiles, good to see him back on the racetrack with us on a different motorcycle. He's riding Kawasaki's earlier.
Yeah, making a little bit of an adjustment, hopping on the Yamaha here, and that bike is going to work good here today because it has the linkage in the back. So it's got a different suspension setup than the majority of these twins. Another one that's got a linkage system is like Dallas Daniels Yamaha, but the linkage will allow the bike to move around these bumps just a little bit better. Most of these bikes, they've just got a solid one shock going from the frame back to the swing arm, where that has a linkage system that allows a little bit more movement in there.
Look at this, Big P. He knew the answer to all of the answers.
Now, he's like me, he Googled it.
Of course he did. It's his birthday. We'll let him slide.
Yeah.
There's Dan Bromley on that Suzuki. He's up to 4th right now.
That's impressive for being in the second group. I was just thinking the singles, it's going to be tough. You're really going to have to put in a good lap time for some of those later groups because you qualify right out of this. Here's a replay of Bromley.
Bounces just a little bit, and he'll try to turn the thing right about here. Back and steps around a little bit, puts the foot back, kicks his back number plate. I've actually kicked my chain off before. Have you ever done that?
I got my foot stuck in between the wheel and the fender once. That was terrible. Ooh. Terrible situation.
It's not fun. Bromley's up to 3rd. Here comes the 62 Suzuki.
Well, he's doing a really good job. You see what he's doing there. He's getting on the gas very hard in the center of the corner and rotating the bike. You'll see it here. He just rotates the bike, and he's coming off the bottom, where when he was behind Wiles, even though he's got a good time, he was riding up just a little bit higher. But the thing to do right now is just go as low as you possibly can because of how bumpy and ruddy and kind of like little ledges it is. So you see Bromley even there in the cooldown lap, just as low as he can possibly go.
Shorter way around, get the thing turned, and then gas it up.
It's all about being on the smoothest part of the track tonight if you can.
Then grab a handful and go down the next straightaway. So that was our Mission Super Twins 2 groups. We have 2 groups in the AFT Singles, presented by Kicker Performance Audio. The Kicker guys are here from Stillwater, Oklahoma. They came all the way up here to come see us up here at the Jackpine Gypsy short track as the crowd's still filing in. Yeah, that guy with the big hat looks like Dave Aldana shirt on. It looks like Troy Lee Designs. I believe that is a Dave Aldana replica. Remember him, number 13, on any Sunday?
Yeah. He just had a little bit of a foot injury.
Yeah. Here comes the AFT Singles. Again, 59 is Tom Drain from Australia. The 88 Chase Sadoff from Illinois. 21 Trevor Bruner from Indiana. Terrence Santero's on that 75 from California. 26 Aiden Rusevens. He should go good here on his Yamaha. He's from Southern Illinois. Evan Renshaw's on the 65. Braden Fanders on the 83. Cage Tadman 228. Jared Lowe the 63. Hunter Bauer from Canada's on the 24. And Chad Coast, the California kid, on a Husqvarna.
Did you get a view when you were up here with Sam of Chase and Tom getting into each other a little bit?
A little bit, but it seemed like Drain kind of let off and Chase kind of came up to him coming off of 4. It happened really fast, but I think
mind games. Are we starting?
I think Drain was trying to get out of the way. Bruner was coming hard. Bruner's really charging this racetrack.
Bruner's an aggressive rider. He's been doing such a good job this year at all of the outlaw, the non-AFT races. Hasn't translated over to AFT so far, but Lucas Oil turned that around. He's gotten that win. He tracked Tom Drain down. I mean, that last lap was phenomenal, and for him to be able to hold that pass around the outside, look at him go right now.
Yeah, did anybody tell these guys it's only practice?
These kids, they're kids, right? They're still kids.
They're younger than you, so
I used to do the same thing when I was in this, and Sadoff and Drain, I mean, this is a championship battle at this point, and are they trying to get spicy? I mean, is mind games, that's a legitimate thing.
Maybe for Sadoff. He might be sending a message to the 59 right now, but Bruner's feeling it. You know, he's won a lot of outlaw races the last couple of weeks, and then he won, like you said, Lucas Oil with the last lap, last corner pass. So the 21, they've got things figured out. Yeah, Bruner's definitely feeling it on that 21.
Yeah, back to the top of the board, just like an FP1, and riding really well. Sadoff's grabbed a toe from him right now, but Bruner's looking pretty smooth for how technical the track is.
Look at this, Chad Coates up to 3rd. He always does good in practice and qualifying.
Yeah, he's
put
got
it all
translate
together at night.
Yeah, and then Tom Drain back there 7th fastest. And you talked about it, how Sadoff might be trying to start, maybe playing some small mind games. But it doesn't matter. As soon as you get moved out of the way or something like that happens to you, your brain flips a switch.
I watched every one of them. Yeah, here's Tom coming up a 4. That wall comes up quick. If you get fixated on it, you go right to it. He actually rode the wall in that front straightaway. That was Tom Drain, the 59. He's our points leader right now. 23-point lead over 2nd place. And there's Bruner getting really sideways.
Just keeping the gas on, getting that thing rotated, just like I was talking about with Bromley there.
You riding down Bruner, or are you going to wait one more group?
I could probably write down Bruner. I think the confidence train that he's got going is so good. And he's just vibing, and he's smiling, going through the pits. He's just enjoying everything that's going on. And he's had some difficulties this year they've had some small bike issues, right? And hopping back onto the Honda 450 from the Twin last year, that's a learning curve. I mean, it's a smaller bike. It's easier to ride, but these guys are all so competitive. And taking a year off of this bike, Tom Drain and Chase Sadoff, they got to race each other all year last year, where Trevor Bruner's just trying to hop in.
Get back in the mix. 31, Evan Kelleher. 100, Walker Porter. 15, Justin Anselmi. 79, Dalton Gauthier. 249, Skylar Sintel. 57, Ian Wolf. 13, Morgan Mishler. 43, Jacob Vandekoy. 314 is Harry Keys from Australia. And a 101, Caleb Martin. 35, Ryan Hyatt. The Australian reached out to you. He was pretty excited to come up here and meet you.
Yeah, he was. He said he's never raced a track this small either. And this is a short track. I mean, the only thing I think I've ever seen smaller than this is probably Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah, back then we weren't on Twins.
No.
So the 450s, you were actually qualified 8th at that one, right?
Yeah, qualified 8th. I don't know how I did that one, but honestly, kind of a similar ordeal. That was a true cushion, but it had these little bumps, these little ridges and ruts going through the corners. But that was such a point-and-shoot track.
Ooh, Kelleher bounced off the front straightaway wall just a little bit. So it's dry going in the corners. They can really slide it in here. Now there's traction right here where you try to grab a handful. And Selmy trying to come there to the inside.
I shouldn't have wrote it down.
I shouldn't have wrote
it down.
We got a new quick
Slammer
time here in practice. The 100 Walker Porter in his rookie season goes to the top spot. 1:3.652 for Walker Porter.
My buddy Chase always says it. He is a threat on these short tracks. Short track specialist, Walker Porter, Horizon Award winner, the Nikki Hayden Horizon Award from last year.
Well, that's what your replacement said too earlier. Said he will be very fast on the short track. Talking about little Slam and Sam Drain.
Little Sam Drain.
He did a good job. His mom's tuned in and all the way in Australia. I think she is, and I believe she is. She might be in Kentucky, but she's not here. She said she was surprised to tune in and hear her little boy talking.
Yeah, and he just did a double this weekend road race. Did you guys talk about that?
A little bit. He doesn't like to brag on himself, but he said he's up to second in the points and had a good weekend.
Got a ways to try to track down DeMario. He is on a roll over there.
Talking about the Moto America Rookies Cup, our guy Cody Kopp.
It's getting better.
He got a podium.
He's getting good
on the first day, and then he went off the track to try to hit another rider this last weekend, and still got
miss a down rider.
Right. To miss. What did I say? Hit him. Well, if you look at him, you're going to hit him. So he did a good job missing that down rider. So
yeah, no, he's doing good, and we miss him over here obviously, but it's good to see him finally getting. He's such a big rider on that bike. That's such a small little bike, kind of aimed towards like a Moto 3 design. And Cody's a tall rider. I don't know if he's 6'3" or 6'4", but very tall rider. So it's tough for him to get on that little chassis, but good to see him getting up to speed and doing well over there.
Adventure Trackers are up next. Getting set to roll out. These young ladies right here watching the timing and scoring so they can keep track for their rider. Here comes the Adventure Trackers. Some of these bikes were on the road as recently as yesterday. And on the showroom floor, also as recent as yesterday. Dalton Gauthier picked up his bike, him and Morgan Mishler did, and had to do some tuning on them and cutting some wires off and taking some blinkers and stuff off.
Yeah, those two guys doing anything they can to try to get that thing figured out. We were hanging out with Morgan's dad, Bill, last night, and there was a little bit of concern, but I think they got it under control. They made it through FP1. There's Morgan pulling up. Good to see him back here in the paddock this weekend with American Flat Track. It's been a while since we've had him out here.
And they're working on Aprilia Twins. They're just having trouble getting them finished right now. Bobby's not actually here to help out that team. He's back home working on those Aprilias, trying to get them done before the end of the season. Dalton Gauthier on the 79 bike, getting a little sideways, a little fishtail in that 79 bike. Here comes Jesse Janish, the 33 Harley Davidson, trying to make the pass.
It's a challenge, too, for these bikes because a guy like Dalton, who picked that bike up just yesterday, they didn't have time to make a shock adjustment, to put a different spring on there. You probably want a bit of a stiffer spring today to try to not do all that bouncing that you're seeing these guys doing.
And the BMWs were 5 pounds too light. They were trying to add weight to this motorcycles. That was with a full tank of gas. So if you burn off any fuel, you might be looking at 10 pounds to try to add to that motorcycle.
Bauer had to find 12 pounds to put on that motorcycle.
Hunter Bauer, the 24.
There's a minimum weight limit of 500 pounds for these bikes. They have to be above 850 cc's. They can be twins, triples, or 4 cylinders, but minimum 850 cc's and 500 pounds.
Earlier when you were outside, you said Luzak was flying, but he's a little bit all over the place. Well, he's second quick right now. Now he goes to third.
Yeah, and then Janish on that bike, the Vance and Hines exhaust, like I was saying, that thing sounds so good.
Just got a report that was actually Trevor Bruner and Trent Lowe's girlfriends that were on the screen a moment ago. I don't ever want to throw it out there in case I mess up.
Then
I get in trouble.
Yep, exactly.
So I just was playing
We
it
saw
safe.
the Coldplay concert.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I wasn't there. Janish at the top spot, the 30. Oh,
getting close.
Bromley just about got to the backside of the 188 of Luzak. Luzak's bouncing around like he's riding a bucking Bronco.
Well, this is the only one he's racing, right? He's one of the few guys, him and Danny Aslick, they racing just this, where they're not racing the twins or the singles today. So this is their sole focus, to come out here and try to win this.
Luzak's got the headlight on so he can try to distract everybody else. Yeah, so everybody else running a couple of classes, but Luzak only running one. Was that a joke? Was that a joke on the other side of the truck? I thought he was just talking. Nah. Bromley just jumped up out of the racetrack. Yeah. That's it for our second round of practice. Qualifying is going to start here real soon, and then qualifying is very important on the triple challenge.
Oh, it's immensely important. We can't overstate it, especially in the singles class. Everyone will be going on in the twins, but in the singles, you got to go top 12 to get right in. Otherwise, you're going to the LCQ, Scotty.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break here at the Sturgis Short Track at the Jackpine Gypsies Club grounds. We'll be back. Qualifying coming up next here in Sturgis, South Dakota.
From the paddock to the grandstands, Kicker Audio turns race day into a living loud experience with 20 Marine Audio Tower speakers surrounding the crowd. Kicker, bringing the sound of the people. From marine to power sports, car and motorcycle, Kicker has you covered. A Rookies of 79 501c3 charity was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Check us out on the web at backontrack.com and donate today. Every donation flat track classes with their premier flat track tires. Designed for professional and amateur riders alike, Dunlop's DT4 has an aggressive tread pattern, is available in multiple tread compounds, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help take your race day to the finish line. Now that's too fast, too tasty. Racing is all about performance, speed, precision, and pushing the limits. Aeroflex brings that same mindset to liquid packaging with a design that's lighter, tougher, and better for the planet. Simply tear the tab, squeeze, and experience a better way to package liquids. Light Shoe has been building quality steel shoes for flat track racers since 1998. They serve the flat track community worldwide, building custom hot shoes to fit individual needs with the rider's unique style in mind. With more than 25 years of experience and a 1-year unconditional guarantee, you'll know you've made the right choice when your foot touches the ground going into turn 1. Join the Light Shoe crew. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to the Jackpine Gypsy Short Track. Out here tonight is the Mission Triple Challenge. A little track maintenance going on. They're shooting some free T-shirts up into the stands for you folks that are here. Big thanks to Caterpillar for coming out and being part of our program, helping us out here. Again, Mother Nature watered the track really hard Friday night, and it looks like a little bit last night here, but they're trying to smooth it out to make it a little bit better for you fans and for our riders.
Yeah, try to pack it down a little bit, get some of those bumps, the technicalities out of the racetrack, just soft. It's just a soft clay dirt, and that's what happens when you ride on it. You get a bunch of motorcycles, heavy motorcycles specifically, and track's soft. It's starting to make little bumps, little ruts coming off the corner, so they're trying their best to smooth it out.
And they do race out here periodically. There's not, a normal race out here a lot of the year. They do have a smaller series, and, sometimes it takes a little while to work the track in. And, of course, the AFT, want the track a little bit different. And
did you like this track when you raced here?
I love this track. It used to be, to me, when I raced here and when my dad raced here and Grandpa, it was usually a lot brighter red, and I don't know where all that red dirt, like over there on the hill climb, but it looks like they brought in some different dirt from somewhere else. But, yeah, they want some T-shirts up there. Oh, he's throwing them up there. There you go. When that T-shirt gun doesn't work, we toss them up there with that arm up there. Yeah, free T-shirts out here. If you don't catch a T-shirt, the AFT souvenir booth is up at the top of the grandstands. Look at that little guy. Got a couple of shirts. Yeah, he's on it. I like that guy's hat right there.
The top hat. I like it.
Yeah, the top hat.
Yeah, they're going to start rolling in. Everyone's sitting down there on Main Street.
Got one. There you go.
Time to start rolling over here.
Yep.
To watch the Jackpine Gypsies Sturgis Short Track.
That little guy's got 3. He scored. He's going to go sell them up there.
Probably. Joey's got competition.
Exactly. When we get back on the racetrack, it'll be time for qualifying to get into all 3 main events in the Super Twins. We're going to take all the riders, so qualify and get your starting position. But in that singles class, we have 22 riders, so the fastest 12 go straight out of qualifying, and then we'll take 4 more out of that last chance qualifier, Colby.
Yeah, and you got to qualify top 4 today. So important. At alignment, you can get away with starting on that second row. You can get away with it. There's so much time, and the track's so wide. Here at this short track, so technical, such a small racetrack, and 10 laps is going to go by in a heartbeat.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Main event number 1 in both of our AFT classes will be 10 laps. The second main events will be 15 laps, and that third main event will be 20 laps. Also, big thanks going out to Rice's Rapid Motorsports out there in Rapid City, South Dakota. They donated extra money in the AFT singles class for every single race out here at the Sturgis Jackpine Gypsies club grounds.
Yeah, it's great for them to do that. And they've been a longtime supporter. They helped out in Rapid City before, and it's good to have some extra money. I mean, it's a long week out here in Sturgis.
And they're also giving $100 to the mechanic of the team that wins in the AFT singles class. So, yeah, I mean, if you're a mechanic, a little extra beer money to go downtown a little bit later on. Have you been to a concert yet since you got here?
No, we're working. We're pulling every contact we've got to try to get me some Nickelback concert.
Your favorite
tickets.
group?
I love Nickelback.
Why?
It's good. They just came out with this new. Yeah, that's enough from the front of the truck.
No, that at the back of the truck.
Yeah, whatever side of the truck. But yeah, no, Nickelback's great.
we got Colby all flustered.
People think
over
it's fun just to make fun of them, but they're great. Me, bunch of other crew. I'm hoping everyone's going to come out. I hope.
You said they got a new album out that was live from Nashville.
Live from Nashville, so good, so
right.
good. Listen to it on the way here.
Are we this red because we're out on a motorcycle? We had helmets on.
I'm this red because I stood in the sun all day.
Well, and you also went on your bachelor party last weekend in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep.
Yep. He went down you floated on a raft.
Salt River, yeah, for 4 hours. 10-man raft.
How do those rocks look? Were they? Did you get real close to them?
Yeah. We were pushing off. We had a hole. So we actually got a hole, and it was a little loose. My memory's a little loose on this, but my buddy had to cover the hole with his hand for like an hour because we were going to sink.
A hole in the raft?
Yeah, so he put his hand over the hole for an hour.
Yeah.
We did return the raft, though.
Okay, good. Yeah. Somebody's using that as an air mattress out here this weekend.
Yeah, no, that thing went straight to the dumpster.
Yeah. Was it on fire? Was it a dumpster fire?
Yeah, the bachelor
there
trip
goes
was
the
a dumpster
Progressive
fire.
T-shirt cannon. Here it comes. There we got it working again. With a pop fly.
Those little kids are going to be squirming in there. They're looking for 4.
At least. Did you ever try to do that when you were a little kid?
I think I got one time.
That's it?
Yeah.
You're terrible.
I was fat. Couldn't run fast.
You're terrible.
Chunky little kid.
My Uncle Sam said he likes Nickelback too, so.
Nickelback's good.
All right, if you say so.
Yeah, I've never been able to run good. Now that I got all this metal in my leg, it still don't feel good.
All right. There goes another T-shirt. Stands are filling up out here. Opening ceremonies at 8 o'clock. A little bit later on, we'll have the open paddock area. Right now, it's scheduled from 6:30 until looks like right before 8 o'clock is opening ceremonies. If you paid to get in, you can also use your ticket to get in the pits. But we have that, the pit party where people are waiting for you down there in the pits a little bit late. He's going to get rid of all the T-shirts at one time. Here comes some more shirts. I wonder how many boxes he has.
This is early on, too. We're still we're going into qualifying coming up
day
soon.
number 1.
Day number 1. 3 here this week in Sturgis. You're doing 5 shows this week.
Yep. I doing a little arena cross, Buffalo Chip. Doing a little Lords of Dirt, TT in Missoula, Montana on Sunday. They're checking in from home, making sure you're doing all right.
Yeah, dogs are just running around.
All right. Who's watching them now?
Fiance's at home watching the dogs right now.
She's back home from her bachelorette party?
She is, yeah. So let's get into this week, Scotty, a little bit. Three races, so many points up for grabs.
Yes. You want to be near the front every single round.
Yeah, and you just don't want to make any big mistakes. I mean, even something as small as just tipping over and getting like a big contusion, a big bruise on your leg. Normally, you do that, it hurts you for that night. Well, this week, you have no time to recover.
Yeah, you got to come right back out tomorrow night.
Exactly.
And we're going to try your hand at a TT, which includes a right-hander and a jump. And
a couple jumps, some asphalt.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of everything. So, you got a big week.
Yeah, a lot of curveballs coming up on Friday for that Super TT. Kind of reminiscent of what we had at the Buffalo Chip, just no asphalt there. Man, what a fun racetrack that was. And it's cool to get different variations of Super TTs. We started out there Arizona a few years ago, and
you want to sit back and enjoy some PBRs back there up against the fence?
That's me in 30 years probably.
30?
Me and the wife.
Man, how old are you? How old are you?
Young.
So according to what I just got a text from Terry Kerr and said that was actually qualifying round number 1 for the singles. So we've already had 1 round of qualifying. So that means Walker Porter has the quick time right now. How does that happen?
I guess we messed up the schedule a little bit, Scotty.
All right, well, yeah, because they do have a last chance qualifier. So they only have 2 rounds of qualifying. They only had 1 round of practice, I guess. So we're being corrected as we speak. Bruner's sitting second. So look at that. The Turner American Honda Mission Foods bikes 1 and 2 right now after that first round of qualifying in the singles class.
Maybe sharing some notes over there and riding hard. But, yeah, I guess that was qualifying 1. So they have 1 shot left to try to get onto that front row.
And then that last chance qualifier to get the final 4 spots. So that was Q1. We'll switch our little notes over here.
And I don't really have an idea of if this second qualifying session will be faster or slower than what we saw in qualifying 1. They're resetting the track right now, trying to get a little bit stiffer.
Oh, Kristen Beat's going to join us. I wish we had a microphone for you.
Well, actually, I could probably grab my Fox mic.
She's going to come on.
Yeah, we're going to get KB in here.
There she is. Oh, there she is.
I just want to sit and hang out with the friends.
Hanging out with your friends?
Yeah.
Did you get that snake here in Rapid City?
Yeah.
You know what? A photographer asked me that earlier today. Yeah, and I did not.
She did not get the shirt here in Rapid City or in Sturgis.
Why aren't we as stylish as KB?
Because we're wearing the proper AFT attire because we are the in here. She has to look better than us and works the podium, so she gets to do the fancy clothes. She always looks better than us.
I'm out there in the elements.
Yeah.
We try our best.
Oh, they said bikes are coming on track. Are you sticking around, Kristen?
Nope.
You want to call this one, KB?
No. I'm going to try to figure out what's being delivered for dinner and make sure you guys get it.
She's going to go try to figure out what's for dinner. So.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kristen. Bikes are rolling onto the racetrack. It's qualifying round 1 for the Super Twins. When the singles come out, it'll be qualifying round number 2. So a little bit confusion up here in the booth. There goes the 3 bike, Briar Bauman. He's been fastest in both practice sessions, trying to keep that streak going on that Harley Davidson.
And that's big because Briar did have some struggles early on in the year with starting off towards, the 3rd row in some of those main events and struggling early on in qualifying where he'd be 2nd row for the heat races, but he was able to turn that around as of recent. And today is so important to get a good start spot.
A little bit of a bump going into 3 right there, but that looked like a very fast lap right there for the 3 by Briar Bauman, the 2-time champ. That's the reason he can want to run a single digit, because he's a former champion in our sport.
Yeah, already going faster than what he did in free practice 2. Briar Bauman setting the pace right now, about 0.2 of a second faster on that first lap. Let's see how the rest of these guys time in.
You gonna write it down?
Oh, not yet. Briar's got more in the tank.
You still have an eraser. Yeah, there's a big braking bump going into 3 right there, trying to get through it smoothly. It's Briar Bauman still leading the way on the 3 by 32. Dallas Daniels second in the points. Only the 3 and the 32 have won so far in this class.
Yeah, we saw how good Briar Bauman was at Daytona. Wasn't able to best Dallas Daniels, but he got so close leading, just wasn't able to finish the job. But since then, Briar Bauman has been a master on these short tracks.
Yeah, he's got it figured out. You know, like you said, Dallas won Daytona, Briar won the rest of them. And this is the last 2 short tracks.
This is just a week. Yeah, and this is a week where Briar Bauman can build a points lead with 1 lap left in this qualifying. But if Briar can do what he needs to do this week, this could separate it, because we know Briar coming into the mile at DeQuint, he had a little bit of a struggle there, just trying to get the bike sorted out, but we have 2 miles coming up in not much time.
And those are back-to-back miles, which is even harder on the equipment and harder on the for the mechanics.
Exactly, and if your bike's not up to snuff, you can't fix it.
Take a look at Briar going into turn number 3 here, running through the bumps. Actually, this is coming off a 2, I should say. So the roost is flying off that back tire on that Harley Davidson. That back Dunlop squatting.
Oh, yeah, that was a beautiful corner there. You saw how he was able to have the tire spinning as he comes into 3 here. But you saw him have that tire spinning coming off a 2 and just the perfect look at that thing dancing around on the entrance there.
How do you slow
look at how good the bike handled through that. It didn't upset it too much. I mean, the back tire was completely off the ground, but it just kept tracking well. So David Michelle are working good. And I mean, look at that. Almost 1/10 and a half faster than Daniels and Robinson right now.
And Briar's feeling pretty froggy. There goes the 14 of Logan McGrain on the Ryan Barnes Racing KTM. And here comes Bromley on that Suzuki number 62. There's Justin Jones hanging on to it. Wow. Got a little wild going into turn number 1, the 91 First Impressions KTM. You hear all the different sounds of these different twins out there on the racetrack. There comes Wiles getting into the picture on the 911.
Wiles was pretty confident earlier on. We were talking to him. Said statistically, he's got a good chance of this. He's won a lot.
He's won a lot of short tracks in his career. He has 30 Grand National victories, and a lot of them were obviously at the Peoria TT, but a lot of them were at the Springfield short track and other short tracks. So talking about Henry Wiles, the 911, but he said he hasn't done it as much on a twin.
Yeah, and one of the best 450 riders we have ever seen as he gets out of the dust there. He's getting clogged up right now with McGrain and Jones in front of him. He's not able to run a clean lap, and that's frustrating. He needs to try to get by these guys, but session is almost over. I mean, we're running 13-second lap times, so.
He sends it up into turn number 1, gets by the 14 of McGrain. Now just ahead of him is the 91. Again, he's 6th quick right now. The top 4 will be on the front row of main event number 1.
Yeah, and he's going to have one chance at it here coming to the white flag. He's going to have one open lap, really low down the front straightaway. Gets the thing turned good through the center of 1 and 2 there. Keeping it low down the backstretch.
See if he can make it in the top 4 spots. Wiles out front of the 91 of Justin Jones. Checkered flag is out right there.
Let's see what he's able to do.
That last lap was his fastest one, a 1:3.823, but not good enough to get up into the top 4, because Bromley's in 5th. He was in that session on the 62. He's 1:3.820.
Yeah, but honestly, we haven't talked about it yet. That second row inside starting spot, so the 5th and 6th qualifying position is probably going to be better than 4th on that front row.
Outside that front row, yeah, that might be.
Absolutely.
So that was it for your AFT Mission Super Twins qualifying at round 1. Now the singles will be up next, and this will be qualifying round number 2, because they talked it over and they changed the rules just a little bit since Lima, and they'll get a chance for a last chance qualifying race after this kind of qualifying is done.
Yeah, it's fun watching these guys. The front of the truck or the back of the truck, whatever side of the truck it was, said, guys, this is just practice. But now we are in qualifying 2 top 4 to the front row of the first main event of the night. Chase Sadoff's leading them early on. Trevor Bruner, will he be able to pass him? He has to try to get back by Walker Porter for the fast qualifying position tonight.
Here comes the 21 up the inside. Now will Chase jump in behind him and see what he can learn.
That's what he did last time. He just, look at how good his bike handled there off the 2. You saw Sadoff's front wheel come up, go towards the wall. Look at that, already opened up a couple bike lengths. And you see how low he's able to turn down the front straightaway. That bike is handling so phenomenal. He's able to get it turned right now better than Sadoff.
You're talking about the 21 of Bruner?
Exactly. You can just see, just watch how much lower he's able to go. Right there, he goes up the track a little bit, but down the straightaways, he's been able to keep lower. Look at that gap he's got.
Is that his suspension guy, or is that just what you're thinking?
How he's riding, how he's getting on the gas, and his suspension guy in the motor package. But look at down in 8th place right now, our points leader, Tom Drain.
Is he being conservative? Is he happy with his 23-point lead? As he moves up to 2nd? You just announcer jinxed him right there.
Well, no.
He jumps up to 2nd in a good way.
That's an announcer jinx,
in a good
he's
way.
Probably happy.
In a good way.
How about that 4/10 though, off of what Trevor Bruner is doing right now? Even though it's 2nd, it's gonna, well, I don't know. It could be like a little bit of a head scratcher, but going into short track racing tonight, it is what it is, right?
Exactly.
Anything can happen.
That's why we race them in short tracks. Definitely anything can happen. I'm not even gonna write this one down yet.
But man, Trevor Bruner put it to him right there.
Here comes the 21. Watch on the right side of the screen going into turn number 1. Oh, the back end just kicks up to the left. He puts him up there, kisses his front fender just a little bit, and gets back on the gas in that Turner Honda.
But Scotty, that is not good enough to put him ahead of Walker Porter.
Oh, for the overall, you're right.
Yeah,
wow.
That really threw him up on the front wheel.
That was just one little bump going into 1.
It's good to see that the airbag technology, the coating that they have in that has improved, because a few years ago that airbag would have imploded.
Well, that's what happened to Sammy Halbert at Daytona.
Yeah, I've had it happen at Peoria TT, and it's very uncomfortable and hard to ride the rest of the session like that. But there's the 100 of Walker Porter right now, our fast qualifier overall.
There goes Kelleher on the 31. Again, we're looking for the fastest 12 to make it into main event number 1. If you're not the fastest, and Kelleher just, I thought he was going to the wall right there, but man, he just about lost it where Bruner almost lost it going into 1.
And Scotty, this could be a track where it's the old saying of you have to go slow to go fast. If you override it right now, you could make a mistake where it's putting you in the wall. So maybe right now Kelleher needs to back it down a little bit on entrance, go through the corner low like he's doing right now, and just try to really focus on hitting your lines.
Well, how difficult is it too? Like it's dry, slick, and grooved in some spots, and then wet and rough in others.
It's extremely difficult. Watch Kelleher. Oh, yeah. So that's like what you're saying.
Watch this going into 1.
He hits that dust coming out at 4 there, but yeah, here he comes going into 1. It snatches him. Yeah, just rebounds really hard, shoots him up.
Good save, though.
Same thing that happened to Bruner.
Try to go around that bump.
You have to take a mental note. You can avoid that spot.
Look who's up to 2nd. Here comes the 79, Dalton Gauthier, and he is a short track specialist in my books.
Oh, look at that. Look at the line he's got, kind of running something familiar to what Bruner's got.
Really run the bottom of the racetrack the shortest way around. That means you really got to slow it down. Get on the gas as hard as you can, just like you said.
Go slow to go fast right now. Dalton, and look at Kelleher falls in line.
Where's Walker Porter? He's down here 20th in this round. So how can you be fastest in the first round and 20th in this round?
Track's dried off a lot, though, Scotty. They didn't put any water down between their first qualifying session and the second qualifying session, and that is it. But yeah, that maybe they tried something and missed the mark. And even though he's fast qualifier, that can be discouraging. Going back to the pits now, coming off of this session in 20th.
What I'm noticing is they go into turn 1 and 2, they look at that big screen right there, and you saw the 79.
I loved that feeling. That or someone putting their finger up saying you're number 1.
Or with not the middle finger, though.
Well, depends what you did.
Depends on who you're talking to, right?
Depends what you did, right?
Yeah. So that was qualifying round number 2 for your singles class, and here it is. This is the second round only. It's Bruner with .32 over Gauthier in this round. Drain is 3rd in this round. Sadoff, Santero, Tadman, Chad Coast back there 7th in this second round. Lowe, Vanders, and Aiden Roos Evans. Again, we'll take a look we'll get the combined time in just a moment. But they're done with qualifying. They'll have a last chance qualifier here in just a few seconds for the singles class. Now we're bringing out the adventure tracker class.
Yeah, it's interesting to think what happened there between that qualifying 1 session, qualifying 2 for Walker Porter.
They must have tried something completely
different. He was a second and a 10th off of his lap time, which is a significant amount.
Maybe he got stuck behind somebody.
And then look at that, Dalton Gauthier immediately having to hop off of the single and hop right back on the Adventure Super Tracker.
And he's getting tips from Will Harris down there, one of our cameramen, is trying to tell him how to go faster. He has to get out of the way, though, real quick.
Well, Dalton's got to go try to do it again.
Yeah. How hard is it to go back-to-back? Have you ever done that?
It's difficult, but it's got to be way more difficult because you're going from a 450 that he's ridden his entire life that's set up for flat track racing to this adventure tracker, which is an extra 260 pounds heavier. It's a lot taller. The suspension is not set up for what he's doing right now, but he knows the line's choice at least.
You know, for a 500-pound bike, the times weren't really that far off of the Super Twins. You know, 15.2 to a 15 or a 13.4. So, you know, 2 seconds. But
we have to relate what we saw last year with the Super Trackers at the Sturgis TT there in the city. There was some professional riders, but this year, these are all professional riders, whether it is in this discipline or road racing. So all of these guys know how to get it done.
Last year, we had some people from a lot of different disciplines that tried the adventure tracker class. And like you said, everybody out here is raced at a professional level. Like we got the only one that's not currently a pro is Luzak, but he has had a pro card before.
Absolutely, yeah, and he's a great professional rider.
Bromley to the top spot on his Suzuki adventure tracker, the 62 bike. You see, he's going to go ride that thing in the Black Hills later on this week. Would that surprise you?
No.
Not with Bromley.
Not with Bromley, no. I could see him riding it home tonight with no license plate.
Put a headlight on and go.
Just take the tape off the front headlight.
There's Morgan Mishler. Good to see him back at the racetrack. Again, they're trying to get an Aprilia going before the end of the year.
A lot of work trying to develop it. It's a lot of work building a twin in general, but then having develop a new brand like that in Aprilia. So it's going to be exciting when they do get that thing out there. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, you can see just that track. And the suspension's way too soft right now for that motorcycle and how soft the racetrack is. So you see how much the back end's moving around on that thing.
And not much you can do, maybe slow it down, or stiffen it up.
You can probably slow the rebound down, stiffen it up, and maybe put some preload into it to try to get the shock to move less. At least then you can have a little bit more prediction of what it's going to do.
Janish fastest in this round of qualifying for the adventure tracker class, the 33 in Q1. They 15.146, so they're getting faster every time they go out too. So the fastest in the last round was a 15.213. This one's a 15.146. Again, those BMWs were a little bit lighter, so they had to add some weight to those bikes. When they had it full of fuel, you know, take the turn signals and all that other stuff off, they got down to 495. But when the fuel goes down, they had to add like 10 or 12 pounds.
Yeah, and they had to try to figure it out here at the racetrack. So first time these bikes have seen the track for a lot of these riders.
And, you know, some of them just got them yesterday on the way here, and some of them picked them up a couple weeks ago, and just very little seat time on those adventure trackers as the crowd is still filling up here at the Jackpine Gypsies Club grounds. The Jackpine Gypsies is one of the oldest AMA, clubs that's been around for a very long time. Now there's some more T-shirts going up there into the crowd. So we got qualifying round number 2 for the Super Twins. Then we'll have a singles last chance qualifying race. That'll be the actual first real race of the days coming up in just a few moments when we come back on the racetrack.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough. Only 4 of them going through, and then if there's anyone left with provisional start cards, they can use that to start 17th in our first main event and, you know, the rest of the main events throughout the night. But this LCQ is going to be a little bit cutthroat.
Yeah, because we're only going to take 4 of them, and then the rest of them have to sit here and watch and wait for tomorrow night.
Which is good. They get the chance, you know, to come back tomorrow night, learn from what they did tonight. But I'm guessing the track is going to be 180 different from what we're racing on today. It's going to be able to dry out, get a little bit stiffer, not as much softness. The track's not going to be as bumpy where those back ends you saw them stepping out like we saw Bruner and Kelleher. That should be gone tomorrow.
And that is Big P putting the stripes down that front row. It is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Big P. I don't think you can hear me with his noise-canceling headphones on. He's got the socks on, though, that's for sure. You got any socks like that?
I used to. I used to be a big sock collector.
What happened? Oh, you don't even have socks on.
My ankles are so big now from all my surgeries that I go ankle socks. No shows.
Ankle socks.
I don't want to take anything above the ankles because they don't fit right.
Man, it's rough to be Colby Carlisle.
No, it's good, Scotty. I'm up here talking about the thing we both love so much with you, and, you know, we're in for a show tonight. This is like the first short track that we've seen of. It should be aggressive. I'm looking forward to that. I hated racing it. That was my least favorite thing when I was racing, was having to bump someone out of the way or move them. Were you okay with that?
Oh,
or?
Yeah. I got cleaned out here going into 3 in the last chance qualifier in the pro class, and Chris Boone was leading. I was right behind him, had my front wheel tucked underneath him, and Speedy Kell, who used to be from, I think, Washington, came in and just cleaned both of us out in this last chance qualifier. And I thought it was going to end a little rough, but they ended up disqualifying Speedy and put me and Boone into the main event. But no, I love a short track, and it's, you know, get up on the front of the gas tank and put your elbows up, and you're not going to leave here with any more friends than you came with.
That. Seriously, that was my least favorite part of racing. I hated having to get aggressive with people, just because in New York we really didn't ride. We didn't have tracks this small to ride on to learn how to do that. So for me, I hated that part of it, and when I did have to get aggressive, it wasn't for me.
We do appreciate all the help we're getting out here from Caterpillar, and specifically out here in the Black Hills Butler Cat. If you need any equipment rental, go see them over there at Butler Cat, the cat rental store in the area. We appreciate their help getting this track dialed in. They're using the big wheel right now to smooth it out. And, man, we appreciate all their help. He's going to gas it up a little bit and pass the other one right here on the front straightaway. But try to get that track as fast as possible. On the outside, here comes the big wheel, taking the lead at the start-finish line. Big P wasn't there to give him the checkered flag, though, so we'll send him around another lap. Yeah, Colby, what's the grader got to do to make the pass for the lead?
Take the governor off and risk blowing it up? I don't know. I don't know if that thing can take it.
Gas it up, find a new line. Have you got to drive one of those?
No.
They won't let you drive one, huh?
No. Well, I feel like I'm driving when I'm rolling up my toothpaste when I try to get to the bottom of the thing, yeah.
Rolling it up.
Times are tough, saving for the wedding.
Yeah. Brad doesn't like your joke, Colby. I'm just saying.
Well, there's a reason I'm in here. I'm not a comedian.
That's right. When we get back on the racetrack, it'll be time for Mission Super Twins qualifying round number 2. Then we'll have a last chance qualifying race for the AFT singles bikes. There'll be 10 of them, and we'll take the top 4. Uh-oh. Somebody took a hold of the other side of the truck. Kristen B's got the headphones away from our boss on the other side, and she said, "Woosah."
I feel like we're at a yoga studio right now.
Kristen's trying to get us to calm down. We got to be amped up for a short track. We were practicing yesterday.
Yeah. Woosah. One time, there's a story I know. One time, Jeffrey Carver, he's here today helping Aiden Route 7s, but he went to a hotel and the hotel manager was freaking out, going nuts. And Jeffrey calmed the guy down with some woosahs just like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Kristen B, you're drinking Monster already? Listen, Linda.
It's a blue collar drink right there.
Here she comes.
I'm a blue collar girl.
You want to talk?
Sure. Just take over. So, Colby, I was curious if you could illustrate for us the conversation we had earlier with Henry Wiles. He's coming into this weekend, having been on the couch in the last few weeks, not doing a whole lot, racing in the adventure tracker class, but he gave us a couple quotables.
Yeah, he said he was statistically one of the best short track riders.
Do you believe that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember him back at Springfield
That
Short Track.
That wasn't the quote I was referencing, but sure, let's
I'm just
going to
carry on with that one. Him and Chad Coase had a really good battle. Well, remember that? Chad Coase leading. I think he crashed out of the lead probably 16 years ago.
Where at? There is Henry Wiles.
The 911. What do we make of that number choice? I think it's fun.
I think that was his Loretta Lynn's number.
It was.
Yeah. Plus 40
Didn't try it for this year, though.
Mm-mm.
Plus 40 class.
Yeah, Loretta Lynn's just closed up shop. A great week of racing for the amateur motocross community down there. I grew up going to good old Loretta's, and I don't know about you guys, but how much did you guys ever get to go out there?
I never went to Loretta's.
I got
Brad
a couple
Jones
buddies that have
saying
raced.
he spent years there. I hope you have your tetanus shot.
Yeah, Brad's saying that's one of the hottest valleys ever, but it's a few weeks shy of Peoria TT, so don't jinx us with that because that is in a valley, and that can be very tough down there with no breeze going through.
I do remember last year I got home after Peoria, and I immediately booked an IV. I have never felt so much like a raisin. I was a raisin.
I know the exact price of IVs from last weekend in Scottsdale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure, because you had a very fun bachelor party celebrating life moving forward. looking forward to some PMC burgers in Peoria in the coming weeks. Very excited about that. Earlier this week, I had some fun. I was able to cover Colby Raha's historic 205-foot jump on a Harley Davidson. It was amazing to witness.
Andy did a phenomenal job calling it. And yeah, it was really cool. I got so lucky because I was watching it, and just as he landed, Scotty called me and interrupted it. So I got to see it. But if he would have called me like 2 seconds sooner, me and Scotty would have had some trouble.
Yeah. And to me, it was on the 4th attempt, and I was shocked. I honestly, after 2, I thought, okay, he's going to hang it up. Nobody wants to make their 3rd run, nonetheless, the 4th, but he did it on his 4th. And we're going to shift gears. Coming up next, we're going to watch second qualifying, I believe, from Jackpine Gypsies short track down here in the Black Hills. Every year, 500,000 people and a couple bison head on into the city of Sturgis, South Dakota. Oh, look at the babies. But we're going to watch a different kind of running of the bulls later here tonight, so make sure you stay tuned on FloRacing.
Today's coverage is powered by Kicker Audio, bringing the sound to the people with 20 Marine audio tower speakers on site. From marine to power sports, car, and motorcycle, Kicker has you covered. Kicker, living loud.
Before the celebration, before the victory lap, before every turn, every jump, and close call, machines and equipment from the Cat Rental Store build the track where the action unfolds. And because your race day means so much to us, we want you to be the first to know what's next. More locations, fresh look, expanded fleet, better coverage. Get ready for the Cat Rental Store's new start.
Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help take your race day to the finish line. Now that's too fast, too tasty. Freedom on the road starts with the right coverage. That's why so many riders depend on Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Visit Progressive.com to customize your policy and get great coverage, low rates, and a quote in just 3 minutes. Win every race with VP Racing. Designed specifically for moto and power sports applications, VP's wide line of race fuels, lubricants, coolants, and additives give you the power and performance you need to win every lap and every race. Check out their championship-winning products today at VPRacingFuels.com. For over a decade, Dunlop has supported all Progressive American flat track classes with their premier flat track tires. Designed for professional and amateur riders alike, Dunlop's DT4 has an aggressive tread pattern, is available in multiple tread compounds, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American flat.
And here we go. Second round of qualifying. Mission Super Twins here at the Jackpine Gypsies short track. Briar Bauman trying to get the clean sweep. Both rounds of practice and trying to do it out here in qualifying. Round number 2 on that Harley Davidson. How cool would it be to Harley Davidson win in Sturgis?
Oh, the Harley crowd would go nuts.
Definitely. A 3 bike. Looking strong. He's won every short track since we left Daytona.
And Briar's done it early on in all 3 of the previous sessions. So let's see what he's able to knock down now. He's just a little bit off of his pace from qualifying 1. During the break there, they just kept steamrolling the track. They didn't put any water down, so it shouldn't be faster in the way of more grip.
But just smoother might make it faster.
Yep, exactly. And a little bit of rubber down. You see some rubber on the straightaway.
And rubber on the straightaway means you can hook the rubber rear tire up and go faster.
Yeah, and Briar's getting closer and closer to that lap time.
Here comes Dallas, 1:3.71 in this second round of qualifying.
The time to beat is a 13.435. Briar Bauman about a 1/10 of a second off of that right now.
In this second round, he's at a 13.550. Oh, man. Dallas trying really hard down here to shove it in as low as he can go into turn number 1.
Yeah, and Dallas Daniels has one of those linkage chassis that I was talking about.
Is it working for him?
Whereas Briar Bauman is not on a linkage chassis, but right now the track was definitely smoother than what we saw earlier on.
The second round, the best in that session was Briar, 1:3.550, so a little bit slower. Like you said, some of the moisture has disappeared, and it's working itself in. One more group to go in the Mission Super Twins, and we have a last chance qualifier for your singles class. In the second group, 62 is Dan Bromley from Pennsylvania, 14 Logan McGrain, also from Pennsylvania. The 70 bike, Declan Bender from Illinois, 91 Justin Jones from New York, 911 Henry Wiles from Illinois, the 11 Daniel Poole from South Carolina, the 47 Michael Hill from Oregon, and the 50 of Jimmy McAllister from California. Jackpine Gypsies Club grounds out here. And here they roll onto the track. Final qualifying session for your Mission Super Twins. Here they come.
Dan Bromley, one of those guys that could be an upset tonight. We saw him win that challenge race earlier this year out in Chico, the Silver Dollar Raceway. Or was that Ventura?
Ventura's... What was the question?
Dan Bromley winning that challenge race.
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah, me too, but he was happy that he did it.
It was at Ventura that he won it.
Yeah, I believe so. A little bit
Took me a second to remember that.
Looser, heavier track.
It's been so many races since then.
We're on round number 10 already. Progressive American Flat Track, there are 16 rounds. We got 3 of them up here in South Dakota. Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and Races.
Bromley in 5th right now, just off that front row for the first main event, but it's going to be Jared Vanderkoy overall sitting in 4th.
Yeah, Bromley currently 9th in this session, so they're off the pace in this session just a little bit. That rear shock really absorbed that bump right there. That was cool to see.
Davis Fisher having a good run in this session. Up there in 4th, and Trent Lowe back there in 5th. But none of these guys really being able to best their times. The track's definitely slowed down a bit. I think just a little bit drier.
Did you see Dan Bromley's foot right there? He completely had it turned to the right off of the brake pedal. Did you do that?
No, I kept it on all the time just to help stabilize the chassis.
My dad always told me as soon as you get done with the brake, turn your your right foot to the right off of that brake pedal. He didn't want me slowing myself down. He was afraid I'd be dragging the brake too much, even on the straightaway. Checkered flag out, group number 2. So it'll be Briar Bauman fastest in both qualifying sessions on the 3 Harley Davidson. Daniels goes up to 2nd in this round.
Bromley takes a look over at the board. But it looks like Briar Bauman is going to be our fast qualifier here tonight.
He's on it right now for sure. On that Harley Davidson, you got Dallas Daniels 2nd overall in the Yamaha. Then you got the other Harley Davidson, the 44 Brandon Robinson is 4th. And Vanderkoy is in 4th. Here is this second session. It's a little bit different than the overalls, but this is qualifying round number 2, Harley Davidson, Yamaha Harley Davidson. Then you got Fisher up there 4th on the KTM. Trent Lowe, a good run on his Honda up there 5th.
Yeah, on that new chassis that they just got done at the last race, and that really was a big step for that team.
Yep. Now we got our extra first race of the evening. It's a last chance qualifier for your AFT Singles presented by Kicker Performance Audio. There'll be 10 bikes, and we're going to take the top 4 out of this next race into the main events. That's important. Looks like maybe at least one bike's missing from that second row. Your starting lineup looks like this. The 75 Terrence Santero will be on the pole. The 15 Justin Anselmi will start second. Evan Renshaw will start third. And Hunter Bauer running double duty. He will start fourth. Row number 2, 31 Evan Kelleher. Looks like they're giving one lap to check it out. 57 Ian Wolf, 13 Morgan Mishler, 101 Caleb Martin. And then back down that third row, the 43 Jacob Vandekoy and the 35 Ryan Hyatt.
We're missing Mishler. Not out there yet. Not sure if he's...
I wonder if he...
maybe electing to just stick to the Super Tracker or Adventure Tracker.
Yeah, this is the last chance qualifier. The top 4 riders out of this one go to the main event. If you don't finish in the top 4, there's Mishler just got out there. Remember, his pits are way, way, way back there by the campground, so it's, you got to pay attention. They all have radios with the teams where they can talk to them from up above.
Looks like they're checking out something on his
bike.
Well,
they just probably want to make sure the frame number is the bike they got teched in. So he probably didn't stop in time to get checked over there coming onto the racetrack.
Yeah, Scotty, this is going to be tough. Top 4.
Last chance qualifier, only 4 to the main event. Main event number 1, which will put you in main event number 2 and main event number 3. So again, a completely different format here tonight. 10-second board is up. It's time to go racing for the first time here at the Jackpine Gypsies Short Track in 2025. Mission Triple Challenge. Top 4 going to the main. Looks like it's 8 laps. Light turns green in the middle. It's Renshaw. Here comes Santero. Santero grabs the whole shot. A rider from the second row goes up to the inside, up to second. That's Kelleher.
That's Kelleher. Like I mentioned earlier, that inside on the second row might be the correct starting spot, but Santero's going to try to get away as quick as he can in this one. Evan Renshaw sitting in third and Anselmi in fourth.
And Selmy trying to get up there. Oh, Renshaw just about got in the back tire of Kelleher. It's going to cost him a spot, maybe 2.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Evan Renshaw goes back to fourth now. Just a little mistake like that, you can get freight trained so fast.
So it's Santero in the lead, Kelleher in second. The third place rider gets really sideways. That's Anselmi on the 15. Now here comes Bauer trying the high side on the 24 bike. The Canadian, he wants to make the big show.
Yeah, Bauer doesn't want to follow as Wolf almost got into the backside of Renshaw, but right now Renshaw in 5th, up, goes for 2 and gets 2 right back to 3rd.
2-for-1 special here at the Jackpine Gypsy Short Track for the 65 bike. Renshaw goes to 3rd.
It's really, really dry coming off of 3 here. You've seen it a couple laps in a row. Riders made a mistake where they got super sideways and allowed them to get by.
Here comes Anselmi. Shoving it up the inside of the 24 bike.
That's for the final transfer spot. Hunter Bauer's going to look to give it back here, but no, not close enough as this race is starting to wind down.
And again, if you make the main event, you're going to get paid. If you don't make the main event, you're done until tomorrow.
Santero's done a good job at getting away in this one, but the battle's for the transfer spot here. Ian Wolf trying to creep up, but Anselmi's got just a couple bike lengths now.
Santero's in the lead, the 75. Kelleher, the 31. Renshaw, 65. And Selmy on the bubble, the 15 bike. The final transfer spot. Can Bauer, Wolf, or anybody else get into the main event?
And Selmy just needs to go slow to go fast here. Just make your way into it. He's got a little bit of a buffer. One mistake, though, will move him back as we come to the white flag.
1 lap to go. Last chance qualifier, AFT singles class. Santero's long gone. We're watching the battle for 4th. Who's going to the main and who's going to the trailer? Santero bring him off the final corner. This is for 4th right here on the screen. Santero taking the win. Kelleher is 2nd. Renshaw 3rd. And it's Selmy is a last qualifier into the main event. The rest of them are done for the night. That was a last chance qualifier for your AFT singles class. Again, they made a few changes, gave these riders a chance to have a race, to get a start, to go out there and pass people and get those final 4 spots. And I like it. That was your last chance qualifier for the AFT singles. Up next, we have one more qualifying event. It'll be for the adventure trackers, and they're lined up getting ready to go. This will be their final qualifying session. Also, we want to point out the 33 out there, Jesse Janish. He's got some help from Angels of Dirt. He's got Charlotte Kane's and Parker Lang's number kind of into the graphics on the side of that bike, and that's really cool to honor a couple of riders we lost in our sport. The sun is starting to set out here at the Jackpine Gypsy Short Track. Again, when this next one is all done, we will have the open, the fan party. You folks are all welcome to come to the pits, go outside turn number 3 or 4, go down here and meet your favorite rider, and we'll have opening ceremonies at 8 o'clock. So we have a break in the action after this next qualifying session for your adventure trackers. It's always a good time. You get to sit down there as a rider and sign autographs and meet some of the fans. You know, some of these riders, or some of these fans have probably never been here before and seen, you know, riders up close and in person. So it'd be right before they go to work. 8 o'clock is opening ceremonies here on the Mountain Time Zone.
Yeah, hopefully some of these guys stumbling in here tonight, checking out their first flat track race, go down there, meet the riders, buy a T-shirt, get some autographs, and everyone's so personable. Any of those riders are willing to talk to you, so ask questions. Feel free.
Also stop by the official merchandise tent. It's up there at the top of the grandstands. Grab the souvenir T-shirt. Did you see them? It's got Breyer doing a wheelie. It's got Dallas is on there. I think Robinson's on there as well. So you can grab that T-shirt, and that's a good thing to get autographed down there.
Did you get me it?
I didn't get you one.
I didn't see it yet, but apparently you saw it, and it sounds like you could have got one.
Well, you didn't give me any money.
Well, you owe me money for the hill climb tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Last qualifying session. There goes all of Jesse Janish's tear-offs.
Yeah, Janish said I'm leading this one. I don't need these stinkers.
These guys are right helmet on. Oh, he gets a little whiskey throttle right there. Eslick looking up the inside on the 164. 188. Luzak's been fast all day. Looks like they're trading paint over here for that second position. Again, did anybody tell these guys it's just qualifying?
Qualifying's important, Scotty.
We mentioned that earlier.
Only 4 on a row here. There's going to be 3 rows. Nobody wants to be by themselves on that 3rd row.
And also, they're just going to have one main event. Oh, Janish gets really sideways.
It's really dry coming off of 4 there. You have to be very soft on the throttle. Soft on the throttle or hard on the rear brake.
Or a little bit of both. Here comes the 62 of Bromley. He's working his way through. He's up to 2nd quick in this session. Janish is a bike out in front. He's quickest.
It's got to be frustrating for Bauer out there right now. He did such a good job in the LCQ, making the pass the hard way. Unfortunately, they kind of started getting together, getting a little chippy, and he was not able to make the main event straight out of the LCQ.
So he's going to try to earn a paycheck tonight here in this adventure tracker class. Janish's been fast all day on that 33 bike. Gautier is actually fastest in the first practice on the 79. He's currently 3rd in this session.
We've got 3 AFT champions in this race, Scotty. Jesse Janish won a Production Twins championship, and both Bromley and Gautier won AFT singles championships in 2018 and 2019.
Bromley goes to the top spot on the 62 bike in this session, and that is the overall quick time for the 62 Suzuki.
Bromley's figuring it out.
Here's a couple of them hitting the rev limiter, sound like right there. And the white flag is out. Final qualifying session here in the adventure tracker class. The sun. You're looking straight into the sun going on that back straightaway.
Yeah, and Scotty, this is run what you brung. I bet probably none of these guys have gearing with them to change, so just get it on with what you got. Run the rev limiter if you have to.
Yeah, they probably don't have gear that a different sprocket that would fit on there. And maybe too time-consuming to shift up to that higher gear. There's Bromley having some fun. He looked at the board. He knew he's quick time. 15.125. 15.125. So, again, the pits are going to be open right now for the fan party. Come on down to the pits. Go outside turn number 3 and 4. Make your way down here and meet your favorite rider. Again, we have a break in the action until 8 p.m. out here, Mountain Standard Time. So grab something to eat, grab something to drink. Come on down to the pits and meet your favorite rider. Break time out here at the Jackpine Gypsies short track. And when we get back to it, after that, we have opening ceremonies. They're short and sweet. Then we get into main event number 1 for your AFT Singles Triple Challenge first main event. Again, break time for you folks out there in the grandstands. Come on down to the pits. When we get back to it, it'll be 8 o'clock. If you folks want to hang loose and sit in the grandstands, if you don't want to come to the pits, we're going to put Lima 1, the first triple challenge ever. It will be on the big screen. So have some fun out there. Go stop by and see the T-shirt booth and then come on down to the pits. The pits are open right now. We'll be back at 8 o'clock for opening ceremonies.
American Flat Track Series rolls into the Midwest with a twist. 3 feature events per class on the most demanding track on the series schedule. Who can withstand the roost and rise to the Mission Triple Challenge? It's the Lima Half Mile next on Fox Sports.
Mid-season heads to the Midwest with all of the bar-banging, dirt-roosting racing action that you expect from this racing series. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Progressive American Flat Track Lima Half Mile presented by Drag Specialties. I'm Christy Lee. Joining me is Scotty Dubler and Kobe Carlisle, and tonight we are introducing a brand